Embroidery is all the rage right now, and I've been talking about it a lot in my videos because recently Printify launched a way for you to create your own custom embroidered products to sell on Etsy, on Shopify, and they are a massive way to make more profit, to appeal to a higher value customer, and to just make yourself stick out from the competition. You can now embroider on the large center chest, the corner pocket, the sleeves on so many different products, and these are doing so well on Etsy. In one of my most recent videos, I asked you guys if you wanted to see what types of designs actually sell with embroidered products, because it's actually pretty specific, and so many of you were looking forward to this tutorial and video, so here we go. I've been doing a lot of looking through Etsy and seeing what types of embroidered designs do really well, because what you can design with DTG is not actually going to translate as a bestseller in embroidery. Embroidery itself has its own type of design styles that do really well. And scrolling through Etsy and trying to see the patterns in which things are bestsellers or that are just doing really well with embroidery, I've been able to spot and group together a few different styles that do really well in Etsy and that we are actually able to replicate with the Printify embroidery capabilities. When scrolling through best-selling embroidered designs, you may notice that things are actually very simple. Things that have too many colors are actually not designs that typically do well on embroidered designs, and we actually can't really do that with Printify anyway, as they have a max of 7 colors that you are able to use in one design, and they have very limited threads. So typically when I am designing for embroidered products, I make it extremely simple and I stick to one color. And that is not going to set you behind, because going through all these bestsellers, 90% of them do not use color. Yes, some of them do. A lot of people do embroidery at home, so they have access to more threads. But for so many of us that do this through print on demand, do not fret, because single color designs also make a killing. And going through so many of the bestsellers, I have grouped a lot of the best-selling designs for embroidered products into 5 different categories. The first one that I see doing super well is typically a very simple design that has a curved text along the top, an icon, maybe some things on the sides, and then a lower text as well. We have this one that falls into that category. Text at the top, icon, text below. This embroidered design, curved text at the top, icon, straight text below. You're starting to get the idea. If you take a look at the social club trend that also did really well on shirts, you're going to see a lot of those also do well actually on DTG. This is one of the few designs that does transfer from both DTG to embroidery and still does well. This one here, curved text, icon, straight text below. Very similar one here, just has a little bit extra text on the top. More bestsellers using this exact type of design layout, like this one here. I actually have so many tabs of this example open, but this whole video is just going to be going through them. Just search up embroidered designs on Etsy and you'll see how many of these fall into a very similar design style to this. And this can be applied to so many different niches, ideas, texts, laces. You can do whatever with this simple design. Next, we have my favorite way to do embroidery, because it is so simple that it actually almost feels illegal to be putting this on a shirt and selling it. But it is literally just plain text across the top of a sweatshirt or t-shirt that's embroidered. While the style is simple, it gets a message across so easily, like this one, powered by coffee and chaos. We have this custom one with this type of text. So for some of the examples that it showed, more coffee, please. I'm literally just a girl. But this one, someone could plug in whatever text they wanted. We have this bestseller here, which is an embroidered shirt or sweatshirt that says emotionally attached to fictional characters. We have this very simple overstimulated shirt, literally just text. So if you are overwhelmed trying to come up with a type of design that works for embroidery, use AI to come up with a funny text related to your niche and embroider that on a sweatshirt. The next design style I've seen doing really well with embroidered products, especially sweatshirts, is a varsity style design, usually outlines, but it doesn't actually have to be outlines. And a lot of the time it does include some customization underneath, like EST 2025. We have this vintage embroidery where you're able to add the date you were born, and this one also lets you do some sleeve printing as well, but the general design follows that original template that I had just shown you. We have this design here, Bride EST 2025, and I can see using my Everbee extension, which you guys might have seen in this video, is the top here, which has a listing age 4 months ago, already has 63 sales, and we can see that it's currently in 20 carts. We have this custom one following that exact design trend, but this one's more customized so people can put whatever they want across the top. This design style is also very popular in the mama niche. So if you actually look up mama embroidered sweatshirt or t-shirt, you are going to find a whole bunch that look very similar to this with the outlines. The next design style that I see do really well for embroidery, another one I like to do, it is a little bit harder because it's not just text, but it's usually around 4 icons across the top of a sweatshirt. This is one of the simpler ones doing really well right now. It is just 4 different pumpkins. Probably the same pumpkin, just looks like some of them are angled across the top of a sweatshirt and embroidered. This one here, which is gaining traction really fast, it was listed just within the last month. And while we're not currently seeing any sales via Everbee because it does look for the month before, we can see that this is already in 20 carts. I see this popular in animal designs, like this simple whale one with 3 different whales across the top of a shirt. This one's a bit smaller, but the same idea, with just 3 different dragon icons across the top. But yeah, this one is in the small embroidery and not the large center chest. And sometimes with these ones, you'll also find text if it makes sense to add it underneath. So a lot of them are just icons, but a lot of them do have maybe a funny text that goes with it right underneath, similar to this one, which was listed in the last month. And using Everbee, I'm able to see has already sold 11 times and is a bestseller already, again, being listed in the last month. But with that style, again, I would be really careful because when you are using Printify or doing this through print on demand, you are a lot more limited when it comes to the colors. And you can only use max 7 colors. And you, again, only can pick from the designated, I believe, 15 colors that Printify gives us. So I would try to keep your design simple or keep it in black and white if possible. The most open to interpretation is the corner pocket one that I see, which is usually some type of fully customized design that can go in the corner pocket of a sweatshirt. So one that I see that's really popular and that I've done a tutorial on is how to create the outlines from a photo that someone gives you. These icon corner pocket designs are usually simple, don't always have text. Sometimes they're just a fun icon, sometimes they're customized, and sometimes they're not. These ones more open to interpretation, but usually still a very simple design in the corner pocket. And lately, because Halloween is coming up, I'm seeing a lot of ghost ones, but this is super applicable to a whole bunch of different niches out there and different holidays and occasions. We see a lot of customized options, especially for pets, families, couples, doing really well as the corner pocket customization. But if you don't want to do customization and that takes up too much of your time, you absolutely don't need to, like this one. But if you're a text-based person, you can still create graphic designs that are a little bit still more text-based, but still look like an icon, like this customized RN shirt. So if you are overwhelmed about trying to create an embroidered design, I really hope this helps, because if you take a look at these are very, very simple types of designs. And the best news is these are the ones that work for embroidered products. I would argue that designing for embroidered products is actually easier than designing for DTG. And are these the only design styles out there that do well with embroidery? No, but majority are a lot of them that I have seen with the bestseller tag fall into one of these categories. So pick a niche and try creating a embroidered design for that niche with each of these design styles to have the most luck of finding your bestseller. If you want to learn more about embroidery, the do's and don'ts, how to make mock-ups, how to make sure that your lines are thick enough to actually be embroidered, go check out my channel because I've been releasing tons of videos on embroidery, and I will link up the do's and don'ts up next for you guys to watch. Thank you guys, and I will see you next week.